Isang magandang araw tungo sa maunlad na pagkatuto. You are currently watching a course discussion on pahinumero.com, ang educational website na dinisenyo para sa mag-aaral na Pilipino. Dito sa Pahinumero, sumisibol ang pagkatuto.
Sa videong ito, we will learn from succeeding examples on how to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and composition of functions, and we are going to explain everything in details. Kung ating babalikan ng ating previous na talakayan, operations on functions refer to various ways in which functions can be combined or modified to create new functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and composition. Ating palalawakin ito ng lubos sa talakayang ito gamit ang mga halimbawa. Tayo rin naman ay mayroong learning objectives na sa pagtatapos ng pag-aaral na ito, ang mga bata ay inaasahan to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and composition of function, and also to solve word problems involving functions. Sa pagpapalalim ng operations and compositions of functions, it is possible to add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions with overlapping domains. If f of x and g of x are two functions, then the sum, difference, product, and quotient are defined as follows for all x in the domains of both functions. So here is the notation for function operations. That if we use addition, we will have the notation of quantity of f plus g of x. It is also equal to f of x plus g of x. Subtraction, quantity f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. Multiplication, quantity fg of x is equal to f of x multiplied to g of x. And for division, quantity f divided by g of x is equal to f of x over g of x, where g of x not equal to 0. Each operation has specific rules and conditions that must be met for the resulting function to be well defined. In performing the operations and compositions of function, may apat na hakbang din tayong dapat sundin. Una, what is asked? Basically, all you have to do sa step na ito is to determine what the problem requires you to do. Next, ang what is given. Ito naman natin tutukuyin ang mga datos na ibinigay ng problem. Pangatlo, what operation to be used. Aalamin natin kung ano ang operation na dapat nating gamitin batay sa konteksto ng problem. Tanghuli, pagsulat ng number sentence kung saan dito na irerepresenta ang problem gamit ang function notation. Since mukhang malinaw na naman sa atin ang mga hakbang na ito, kaya atin ang simulan ang pagtalakay pa ng iba pang halimbawa. Ito na ang ating part 1 o easy problem. Perform the indicated operations. F of x is equal to 3x minus 5 and g of x is equal to 4x plus 6. Find quantity f plus g of x. Sa ating solution, unang hakbang, what is asked, is to find daw quantity f plus g of x. Second, ang what is given. Given sa atin, ang f of x equals to 3x minus 5 and g of x equals to 4x plus 6. And the operation to be used here is addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And to write our number sentence, indicated quantity f plus g of x. It can also be written f of x plus g of x. Atin lang isubstitute ang values ng f of x and g of x. Kaya magkakaroon tayo dito ng equation na 3x minus 5 plus 4x plus 6. By combining like terms, magkakaroon na tayo dito ng 3x plus 4x which is 7x and negative 5 plus 6 is positive 1. And ang ating final answer, 7x plus 1. Sa pagpapatuloy sa ating second example, perform the indicated operations. Given, f of x is equal to 3x minus 5 and g of x is equal to 4x plus 6. Find the quantity f minus g of x. And to follow our steps, una na nga ang ating what is asked. Find quantity f minus g of x. And the given values, f of x equals to 3x minus 5 and g of x equals to 4x plus 6. And the operations to be used, addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And by writing our number sentence, quantity f minus g of x na pwede rin nating isulat as f of x minus g of x. Press lang sila. And by substituting the given values, magkakaroon na tayo ng equation na 3x minus 5 minus quantity 4x plus 6. Distribute lang natin ang ating negative sign. We will now have negative 4x minus 6. And by combining like terms, ang ating 3x at ang ating negative 4x, magkakaroon na tayo ng negative x and ang ating negative 5 and negative 6 which is negative 11. So ito na ang ating final answer. Ang ating sunod, ang ating part 2 o average level. Perform the indicated operations. F of x is equal to 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. G of x is equal to 2x minus 3. Find the quantity f multiplied to g of x. What is asked is to find quantity f times g of x. Sa ating what is given, f of x equals to 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. And g of x equals to 2x minus 3. The operations to be used here are addition, subtraction, multiplication. And by writing our number sentence, quantity f multiplied to g of x na pwede rin nga nating isulat as f of x multiplied to g of x. Again, substitute lang natin ang given values ng f of x and g of x. Magkakaroon na tayo dito ng equation na quantity 3x squared plus 4x plus 1 multiplied to quantity 2x minus 3. And by performing ang ating multiplication, magkakaroon na tayo ng bagong equation na 6x cubed minus 9x squared plus 8x squared minus 12x plus 2x minus 3. Since may like terms pa na pwedeng isimplify, magkakaroon na tayo dito ng 6x cubed, combine lang natin ang negative 9x squared and positive 8x squared, magkakaroon tayo ng negative x squared. And negative 12x plus positive 2x is negative 10x. And bring down lang natin ang negative. So here is the final answer. So ito na ang ating final answer. 6x cubed minus x squared minus 10x minus 3. Let's continue to our next example. Perform the indicated operations. F of x is equal to 5x plus 10. And g of x is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 2. Find quantity of f of x over g of x. Having the solution, unang step, what is asked is to find f of x over g of x. The given values are f of x is equal to 5x plus 10 and g of x is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 2. Ang mga operation ating gagamitin sa problem na ito, addition and division. To write for our number sentence, we have to use the notation f of x over g of x. Again, substitute lang natin ang given values ng f of x and g of x. Kaya magkaroon tayo dito ng 5x plus 10 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. Next step natin is to factor out these values. For 5x plus 10, magkakaroon tayo dito ng 5 multiplied to quantity x plus 2. And for x squared plus 3x plus 2 naman, we have here the quantity x plus 2 multiplied to quantity x plus 1. Next step is to cancel out like terms ang ating x plus 2. By canceling these terms, we will now have the final answer of 5 over x plus 1. Moving on to our part 3 or ang ating difficult level, perform the indicated operations. G of x is equal to 5x plus 3 and f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. Find quantity f of g of x. So ito na yung ating composition of functions. Sa ating solution, first step is what is asked. Find quantity f of g of x and the given values. Sa ating second step na what is given, g of x is equal to 5x plus 3 and f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. Ang mga operation na ating gagamitin, addition and multiplication. And by writing the number sentence, quantity f of g of x is also equal to f of g of x. Yan. Substitute lang natin ang given values, ang g of x and f of x. Kaya magkakaroon tayo dito ng 2 multiplied to quantity 5x plus 3 plus 1. And by performing ang distribution ng ating 2 sa ating quantity 5x plus 3, magkakaroon tayo ng 10x plus 6 plus 1. Add natin ang 6 plus 1 which is 7, kaya ang final answer natin sa value ng quantity f of g of x is 10x plus 7. Caution lang na be careful not to confuse the notation for multiplication of functions with composition, na fg of x is not equal to quantity of f of g of x. And also, by reading this composition, it can be read as f of g of x. Let us always remember that another function operation uses the output from one function as the input for a second function. This operation is called the composition of functions. These operations are fundamental to many areas of mathematics, including calculus, algebra, and analysis, and are also used in other fields such as physics, engineering, and computer science. So that's all. Thank you for listening. Once again, this is presented by Tubay Martin Lawrence B.
Isang malugod na pagbati at natapos na natin talakayin ng aralin. You can use the reading materials posted below para ma-review ang ating lesson. And for your practice drills, hinihimo ka namin sagutan ang activity na matatagpuan din mismo sa ibaba nitong video. Hasain ang iyong kakayahan, pagyamanin ang iyong natutunan. Again, this is Martin Lawrence B. Tubay. Muli tayo makita-kita sa susunod na course discussion. Dito sa pahinumero, sumisibol ang pagkatuto.